Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today for part 2 of my interview with Christa Marie. In part 1, she shared about her 2 near-death experience stories. I will have that episode linked in the description. Today, as always, will be a Q&A where she will share more about her spiritual experiences that she's had since then, her healing abilities, and the work she does in the world, and practical tips for people on how to reach that place of peace and unconditional love that she experienced when she had lost her memory. All of her links will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here's Christa. I heard you say something in another interview that was really interesting to me, that you learned, I think, in your near-death experience that you had past lives and that this was your last time here. Is that correct?
Yes. What a relief.
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yes. I'm like, whew, great. I've graduated.
Yeah, a lot of people say, I would never choose to come here. I would have never planned this life. It's too hard. And I'm always thinking to myself, I would have, because I'm constantly challenging myself and pushing myself. So if I have an opportunity to come back, I'm probably going to say yes. So it would be such a relief to know it was your last time.
It is. It's, oh my gosh, it's such a relief. Like there aren't any words to describe it.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, yay. Thank you. Thank you. So I just feel like it's like so important for me to just step into this mission that I've been given to help people. And I mean, my gosh, because if I don't, then I'm coming back.
Right.
But I want to, it's in my heart.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think this is my opinion. Of course, this is an illusion. Like the higher we evolve, it's the limitations of language, because really we are all perfect light and love to begin with.
Yeah.
But in this illusion, as we're evolving, the more expansive and loving that we become, the more quick we're going to be to say, yes, I'll go help. I'll go do it.
Yes. And, we all are we are all that light. We are all the same light. And it's really interesting because things will happen and we kind of forget that. Because if we remembered all the time, oh my gosh, I think things would be so much easier, because we would make different choices, and, we wouldn't abandon ourselves. We wouldn't allow some of the things to happen that happen.
So you said that you came back with a mission, and it's to help heal people. So how do you do this? And would you like to share a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, it's really amazing what I've been shown. So what happens is I've been shown how to connect my energies with them, and I receive downloads of information. And it's not coming from me, because my motto is think less. Think less and live from your heart. But I receive downloads of information to share with the person, for them to say, and it starts clearing the traumas. And as this is happening, energies are coming in from the light of the divine. Angels are coming in. Jesus and Mary are coming in. St. Michael's there. Archangel Raphael. There's a whole team of healers that come in to support them. And then I speak this language. I think religious people call it speaking in tongues, and then spiritual, if you're on the spiritual side, it's called a light language. But it's the same thing. It's just kind of a another person's perspective as to what they know it as. And when I speak this language, people heal. And I can see inside their bodies. I can see the energies that are affecting them. I'm made aware as to if it's from a past life that they're carrying, or if it's something that they've acquired in this life. And I'm just shown how to just clear it away. These energies come in and they just take care of it.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm in awe of what's happening. And back in April, I was asking, like, I just prayed, like, what else can I do that's going to help me heal? Because healing from mold is very challenging. And a friend of mine called me and she said, have you ever heard of the labyrinth? And I'm like, no. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go to the labyrinth. So it was like I got an instant answer to my prayer. So I started walking the labyrinth and I walked it 3 times and Jesus appeared to me in the center of the labyrinth. I walked it. You walk in one way and you pray for, you ask for what you're wanting. And then on your way out, you give gratitude and trusting that it's going to be answered. And I looked up and Jesus was right in the middle. He was hovering above the ground and his body was in human form, but his face was light. It was the brightest light that you could ever imagine. And I just stood there and I just felt so much peace, but I knew that he was communicating with my higher self, just like Mary was when she came to see me as a child. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I was just so grateful because I knew that things were going to start shifting. More gifts were going to be coming in, to help others and for me and for my healing. So it was just really, really incredible to be able to see that, like with my own eyes, like not in my mind's eye, but like as if you and I are just seeing each other right now. It was incredible.
Wow, that is amazing. So you have had experiences since you came back. Would you like to share a little bit more about your gifts and the experiences, some of the experiences that you've had?
Yes, I have noticed that just being able to see more clearly, like seeing through buildings as if there aren't any walls. And I'm thinking what I'm experiencing, the person that I'm with is experiencing the same thing. Like, oh, this door is open. We can go in. And they're like, no, it's not. It's not open. I'm like, but it is open. See, it's open. They're like, no, Christa, it's not open. But I'm seeing through the walls. So then I just I feel this little shift and then I see, oh, there is a door there. There is a wall. So that's something that's been really interesting to be able to it's like having this X-ray vision and just really having this ability, like I bought some food and it just like I had some onions on the countertop and then there was like food just started appearing and growing. Like it was just growing. And I thought, oh my goodness, I think I should plant this. I don't think it's done growing, because there's just more of it. And just really like the healing gifts, like just the love and compassion, like it's just that alone is so expanded. I mean, the love for every single thing. I mean, there's this adorable little lizard that's living in my garage, and a long time ago, I might have been afraid, but it's just the love, the outpouring of love that I have. And I was doing a healing on someone, and I saw my hands go into a different dimension. And that was really interesting because I felt it as well. And, but she was instantly healed.
Wow.
And that's another thing that happens during the healing is I feel myself, I'm going into another dimension. And it's a really interesting sensation to experience that when you're just awake, like in a normal state. But I feel myself all the time, like there's different aspects of ourselves. Like, I can just feel myself just like floating off somewhere. It's like my spirit is going somewhere else, like into another dimension when I'm doing healings for people.
So do you have any advice for people who may be trapped in a state of fear and anxiety or any type of negative emotions on how to get to that place of peace and love that you were living from when you lost your memory?
Yes. One thing that can be really, really supportive, if you're holding anger towards someone, forgiveness is really huge. Forgiveness is huge because we all have that Christ light within us. And if you are feeling upset about something that's happened, it's really supportive to forgive that person, but also to just visualize that gold light shining in their solar plexus. And even just seeing that person as their little one, like as a child, an innocent, sweet little child. And because, they kind of lost their way. They experience things and they have things to heal from. And instead of healing from them, they're kind of taking it out on other people. But if you can just see them in that state for your own well-being, to forgive them, because that's what's going to really set you free. And just to not hold any judgment towards anybody, because no matter what is going on, everybody's doing the very best they can in that moment. And also what I've been made aware of is that our energies they can be so easily manipulated. Even our thoughts and the words that come out of our mouth, there's another energy. It's like we're in this battle of spiritual warfare. And these other energies can do things to manipulate your energies. I woke up, I see things constantly, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw something coming towards me, trying to put an implant in my brain. It was like it looked like maybe the size of like 2 inches by 2 inches. And I woke up, I felt this energy, and I woke up and I was like, no. And I said, I rebuke you. And I filled the room with white light and just went through this process to clear it. But I thought, oh my gosh, we're very vulnerable when we're sleeping. So if people can be aware of that, what they can do to help protect themselves from things like that is to envision that they're sleeping in a pyramid filled with the gold Christ light. I do this every night now, and I don't have any more of that nonsense going on. So it works. It really works. And you can even envision yourself in a pyramid when you're going out in the middle of the day, so that, because there's so many different energies out there. But the key to healing is to really go inward and not hold judgment towards yourself or the other person, and just forgive them. Forgive them. That is so important. And it isn't always easy, but that's something that I help people with, because I have these other energies in that just transmute it. these energies that come in from the divine, it's like, it just transmutes all of that. It's really incredible. And also, something that can be really supportive too is to make sure that you're grounded. That's very supportive, but also kind of have a routine of clearing energies that aren't yours.
Mm.
And you can connect to your heart very easily by just placing your hands on your heart, or that's how I do it. I place my hands on my heart, and I just take 3 gentle cleansing breaths and then release all energies that are not of me. You know, there's sadness. I release all sadness that is not of me. And then I breathe out, and I go through that same process with worry, anger, loneliness, fear, all of it. I release all of it. And then all of a sudden you can tell, like, you feel it, you feel lighter.
Mhm.
And so that's really supportive for people too, because sometimes they're feeling other people's energies, and we're really all connected. So what affects one will have an impact. It has the ripple effect.
Right.
But in a positive way as well. So anytime we do something that's really positive, you know, and supportive for ourselves, it's having that same effect for another person. Like 1 week, oh my goodness, I had terrible, terrible pain in my right leg and my right hip. And then I heard from a friend of mine, oh my gosh, my left hip is really hurting and I can barely walk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what's happening. And then I heard from another person, they were experiencing the same thing. You know, so what's happening with one, another person is experiencing it. So if, my gosh, wouldn't it be amazing? Like if we all just honored ourselves and just filled ourselves with love, and then we have more love to give, it's going to lift another person. It's going to create that ripple effect. And then I heard we all healed at the same time.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And because I had a, you know, I'm learning. I'm still learning through all of this. You know, everything that happens, it's like, oh, wow. Okay. I'll just go with that. You know, like it's just amazing. But there was some woman that I woke up in the middle of the night and I was punching my thigh, and I thought, what is going on? Like, I wouldn't do that. But then I saw online on Facebook that some woman was having so much pain that she started hitting her leg, hoping that that would do something with the other pain. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's got to be why I woke up in the middle of the night hitting my leg. So that just showed me, like, wow, what one is doing, it's affecting another person. And that was just really fascinating to me. So if we can all just be love, be more of that, and be kind and gentle to ourselves, it's going to raise the frequency. I mean, it's the only direction is up.
That's such an encouragement for me to hear. I'll share a little bit something personal here, because I think a lot of people are experiencing it as well. But over the last couple of months, I've been experiencing really increased anxiety for no real obvious reason. And it really ramped up around Thanksgiving time. And then I was in a Facebook group the other day and I saw other people saying the same thing. Like, my anxiety just ramped up around Thanksgiving. What's going on? So it's like we're all connected to these energies here, and we have to transmute it. We have to do the work, even though it's so hard.
Yes, yes. I experienced that as well. I wake up in the morning and I remember I woke up on the wrong side of the bed twice in my life. And I'm like, I just need to go back to sleep and I'm going to wake up happy. But I woke up and it was around Thanksgiving. I was having my heart was racing. I was feeling palpitations, and I thought, what is going on? Like, I'm thinking, okay, this isn't mine. And I looked at my phone and I had a message from someone that they were feeling very, very anxious and that they were in panic. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm feeling what they're feeling. So what I did was, the first thing I did was I just centered myself. I grounded myself. I connected to my heart, and I just started breathing in white light and sending it throughout my whole entire body. So when I got myself centered and full of light, I began sending light to this other person, just wrapping them in white light.
That's beautiful.
But it is pretty fascinating though, isn't it? How what affects one can affect many. It's that ripple effect. It's incredible. But if we can recognize it and just start transmuting it right away, it's going to have the same ripple effect.
Yeah, the more people can heal themselves and work on themselves, the more we'll heal as a collective.
Yes. And I also noticed that because so many people, there is this huge awakening. I mean, the truth is coming out. People are finding the truth about things, and they're also stepping into the truth of who they are. They're taking their power back, and that is having such a dramatic effect on the healings because they're healing faster. Because so many people are just coming together and they're doing the work and they're willing and open, and that it just creates more of that. Which is really beautiful, because we all want to be healed, and we all want to be in that place of just, feeling happy and just flowing through things with ease and grace. I mean, we're going to always experience these challenges, because we're in earth school. It's just part of it, but we can move through it differently. As the more aware we are and we can catch it. Oh, and another thing that I learned, when my hip and back had healed, I saw this energy coming back, wanting to attach itself to my hip. And I started to feel pain. And I said, no, I do not agree to this. And it left.
Wow.
So that's another thing that can really support people. Like as soon as they start feeling something, whether it's emotionally or physically, because it can be coming from anywhere. It may not be their own. And they can just say, nope, I'm not taking this on. You don't belong here. And it'll leave. It'll leave. It's amazing. It just seems like it's transmuted instantly. And it actually I experienced that 3 times in a row. Like it just kept trying to want to come back. And I'm like, no, I rebuke you. I command that you are transmuted across all timelines, space, and dimensions to never, ever return. And then it was like, poof, gone. It's amazing. So I'm just, I'm learning as I go as well. I'm receiving downloads, but also just through experiences. But the stronger that we stay in our power, the better, the more supportive it is for us as well as others.
Well, Christa Marie, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your wisdom with us. Is there anything else you'd like to share about what you do or how people can get in touch with you?
Well, they can, they are welcome to send me a text message at the number 480-459-8126, or they are welcome to, I have a calendar set up on the website, so they're welcome to schedule a healing session if they would like to, if that feels right for them. They can get there by just going to christamarie.com. It'll take them directly to the website, Restorative Health Solution. But I feel that it's important that, well, it's important and it's really supportive to know that anything can be healed. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how long you have been carrying something with you. Every single thing can be healed, which is really freeing to know that. You know, I've experienced so many things throughout my life, and I just see them as really being blessings because I use my experiences to share with other people and to support them and to help them. But everything can be healed. Every single person has that capability to free themselves of the trauma, the pain, the emotional, any discordant energies. They can heal all of that so that they can step into that space of just being unconditional love and just really embrace the truth of who they are. And they're not what they're experiencing. They're not the trials and tribulations. Like, they are love, and they can live from that space.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for the work that you do in the world as well. I will have all of Christa Marie's links in the description.
Thank you so much for having me.